much was the wedding? I've been waiting for this one.
People should be pushing the same direction and not just showing up to their wedding.
I was baking in the sun.
Yeah.
Do you have any wedding regrets?
Do the people that didn't come have any regrets? What are some flaws about each other that you've gotten used to?
I was not really expecting to have a meet and greet at my own wedding. Actually, my parents are divorced.
So if I'm...
Don't expose.
Oh, it's a once in a lifetime. They pull all these emotional stops out, which is tough.
Yeah.
And I just don't like that. She loves me. But she doesn't love me enough to wear her ring. Wear it!
You don't become successful overnight. You become successful with blood, sweat, and tears. Actually, every time I go to the bathroom, he FaceTimes me.
And then she won't answer.
We just got married 2 months ago. Has it been actually 2 months? I don't have mine on right now.
What?
Bruh.
I'm sorry, but...
Why did we buy it?
But we're back for round 2 of Juicy Questions because we got some tea to spill after our wedding. I know we took a little bit of a break, and I also had to give my team a break who has been working around the clock to post over 70 videos for our wedding. So we asked you guys anonymously to send us more juicy questions, and today we picked 10 juicy, extra lemon squeezy, I don't know what I'm saying, questions to answer for you guys. And because you guys enjoyed the last one so much, so I hope you guys get to know us a little bit better as a married couple now, Mr. and Mrs. Ravi-Conway. Technically, I'm the Ravi.
Let's get into it.
First question we have here, do you have any wedding regrets? I feel like quite a few people ask this. I want to say at least 25%.
I think we should rename the question, do the people that didn't come have any regrets? I mean, the lead up to it was a lot. We spent, what, basically a year with our wedding planner kind of getting things figured out. It was 3 days. It was a lot, but I don't think we regret too much of the operational process. The one thing I do regret, though, is Saturday not putting a tent over everybody.
Yeah.
During the...
Oh, that's a good one. A lot of people came out with some sunburns.
They are red beforehand. Because they're just Irish and burnt, like whatever. But they came out looking like ripe tomatoes.
Yeah.
It was just, there was people that had to move to the shade.
Yeah, we didn't realize how hot and sunny it would be, so that's also was our fault.
I mean, I think we did, I just didn't want to do it.
It was expensive, but
Yeah.
that was something we should have done though. That is a regret. I do wish we had like umbrellas or a tent, especially for the Hindu ceremony, which is 2 hours long. Okay, I was baking in the sun.
Yeah.
I got a tan, a lehenga tan. My one regret was I ended up buying these Jimmy Choo heels.
Because I was like, oh, they're cute. I'll never have an opportunity to wear them again.
I feel like a lot of these the American brides buy Jimmy Choo for their wedding day. So for the American Irish ceremony, I bought these beautiful, expensive ass Jimmy Choo heels, and they were so fucking uncomfortable to the point where I was standing up and waiting for Chris at some point to do like this stupid trend, and he left me to go smoogle with the bagpiper.
Smoogle?
My feet hurt so badly that I had to eventually get on my knees, and then I ripped my dress.
Yeah, but it got fixed.
It got, yeah, because my assistant stitched me together, but that was insane. I haven't told anyone that story yet.
So your regret is buying those useless
so
shoes.
if you are an American bride, do not buy Jimmy Choo heels. They're so fucking uncomfortable.
Okay, question 2. What did not go to plan but was a lovely surprise? That's a really good question, actually. On Friday, we had our rehearsal dinner, and people got their mehendi done on their hands, and we had kind of impromptu speeches, which we didn't really plan. We just happened to have a mic, and a bridesmaid and a groomsman said some really nice stuff, which was touching. So it was nice, but I think it also kind of helped people break in the weekend because people were a little nervous. I mean, there was a lot going on, and we hadn't seen some people in person for a long time, and I think that kind of settled everybody's nerves and set the table for the rest of the weekend.
Honestly, I think everything for the most part went to plan. In between the cocktail hour on the Indian ceremony day, because we had a 3-day wedding. For those of you who are new here, we had an Indian ceremony and we had the American ceremony across 3 different days. And our wedding video is already posted. I'll link it up here or somewhere up here if you guys want to go watch it. But on the Indian wedding day, between the Hindu ceremony and the Sangeet reception, we had this cocktail hour where we decided to take sort of like all of our photos and everything. But that being said, because we had to take all of our photos, I had like an hour or something to change my makeup and change my like outfit to what I was wearing for the reception. And I didn't really have that as well planned as I probably should have, so that could have gone really poorly, but I feel like that turned out better than expected, and that also video went extremely viral, and I ended up gaining like 50,000 to 70,000 100,000 followers just from one video across 3 platforms. So hello, if you're new here from that video. Hi. It was me who changed her makeup in 45 minutes, but that to me was a pleasant surprise that I think was maybe not, I guess that didn't really answer the question, but that's my answer
There
to
was
that
things
question.
that we were worried about going wrong, but makeup was not one of them, like by any stretch.
No,
and your team's
I had so much
structure,
fun.
you guys spent so much time planning all the videos, there was no issue.
Was there any drama at the wedding? Complainers, crazy children, anyone wearing your colors, or catering mishaps?
Okay, wait. Before you go, no children were invited. So
Yes.
that can be eliminated because we just wanted to keep it, professional is the wrong word to say, but it's adults only.
Yeah.
It was just easier. So that was also a great thing that we did. But I'm sure you have an answer for this one though.
Yeah, so I feel like, I don't know, I didn't think there was like too much drama, but I will say like one thing I didn't quite appreciate is that there were a couple like caterers who I think later realized like I was a big YouTuber and content creator and asked to bring their kids or just brought their kids.
One of the chef's
Chef's daughters ended up randomly just coming to the wedding when I don't think, like she was really young. She was maybe like in her middle school, high school. And don't get me wrong, I freaking love meeting you guys. Like I'm the happiest person to meet you guys and say hi to you guys and talk to you guys. But that definitely put me in an uncomfortable position because I was not really expecting to have a meet and greet at my own wedding. Yeah. And even like my mom helped hire like these Bollywood dancers and I probably took more photos with them who I didn't even know over anyone else at the wedding because they just kept asking for photos. And granted, they were really nice. Like
They also did a really good job.
And they did a really good job. Like even though like these extra wedding crashers, like they like probably were not supposed to come. Everyone was super nice. Everyone was super courteous. No one was like mean, pushy, or like annoying or whatever it is. But I didn't want to feel like eyes were on me because I'm not.
Well.
No, what I mean, eyes were on me from like people I don't know. Because the whole point of us inviting less people was that
Intimate.
we were only inviting people that we knew. Because our wedding was only, what, 120 people? And there was also like the photo booth. The person we hired for our photo booth, he asked if his daughter could come. I mean, he was nice enough to ask ahead of time, but we didn't really see the need for like his daughter to be there.
We didn't want that energy.
Yeah, I mean, again, we wanted to keep the wedding private. So
Yeah.
I would say that's the only like...
If that's our biggest issue.
Yeah. And your dad went on for so long.
Oh yeah, my dad.
Sweet, sweet dad. On Sunday, one of the traditions you do in like a British kind of wedding is you have obviously speeches. Normally it's the best man that does a speech. In this case, it was kind of my dad that filled that role because we didn't do best man and maid of honor. We just kind of had everyone the same. It's kind of more of a roast. So he kind of pulled out all the stops. He ended up singing a song, like he wrote a song for us. It was actually really good, but he went twice as long as he was supposed to. So I think we allotted originally 15 minutes for him to chat, and then we were gonna have the dancers come on after the Irish dancers. So 45 minutes in total. So they would have been 15 and 30. He went 30, so we had to do the Irish dancers 15, which actually I think worked out. What are some flaws about each other that you've gotten used to? Well, I don't know if flaws is the right word to say. I would more say people's predisposition.
I think everyone has flaws. I think you are lying to yourself and to your partner if you like every single thing about the other person. But
I bet you though that exists.
Yeah, but I also think that like there's a difference between appreciating and working with someone's flaws and like having resentment towards like actions that person did, if that makes sense. Like for example, like I feel like I guess flaws that I've gotten used to with Chris is that, oh, I've been waiting for this one. This is a recent issue that we
This was
he knows exactly where I'm going.
T-minus 24 hours issue.
But no, it's happened multiple times at this point. But he essentially will overtake on tasks, and his mom kind of does this too, where like he'll be like, I'm gonna do like everything. For example, like we had a really bad trash problem because we just moved into this new house. He ended up spending an entire day trying to throw all this garbage into this like skip, which is like this giant trash can.
Big dumpster.
Yeah, that was expensive. And then I was fighting with him back and forth to hire someone for help. So I'm constantly the one who's like, let's outsource, let's get some help. Like I'm pretty good about asking for help when there's too much on my plate. That's why I have 2 assistants. That's why I have a management team. That's why I'm good at that. I think Chris struggles to ask for help because his mom struggles to ask for help. But the thing is like, unless you physically insert yourself or do it, just do it, he will not take an answer for yes. So I feel like that to me actually is something that we could both work on together.
What was your solution?
The solution was that I just did it. The thing is, like, he thanked me, and this has happened multiple times too. Because the last time this happened was what was it?
I think she's making shit up.
No, it was the cleaners. We kept going on these damn trips for work, for whatever it may be, and the house was just not
We were just
placed.
getting behind.
And eventually gets to a point where it's like, okay, I need help again.
Yeah.
And Chris was like, oh, I'm gonna do it, we're gonna do it. We don't have time. And when we do have time, we both need to sleep.
Because what takes the L, what loses is sleep. So it's like you only stay awake, but...
Yeah, I pulled the plug and I got cleaners.
I
It
would
was the
say
best.
together we tackled the trash. Okay, it was mostly her people, but that's okay. I gave it a good start.
What would you say flaws that we've gotten used to?
Your brain's always moving around. You're always thinking fast, which is a perk. Your job moves fast. You post multiple videos a day. You're iterating all the time. So sometimes your brain needs time to kind of brain, and that normally occurs in like the bathroom area. So don't
expose me.
you're getting lit up.
No, getting.
So there's nothing like weird about it, but I think she's dead because she'll go into the bathroom like fine, like just talking, and honestly 90 minutes sometimes will pass, and she's not just sometimes in the bath, like she'll be showering or doing whatever.
90 minutes.
At minimum. Okay.
That would
But
be
you'll take a shower, but you'll be gone for, I honestly thought you moved out sometimes because I just don't know where you go. Sometimes I get worried she fell in, the dog's whining. I'm like, hello. But there's nothing wrong with that. If that's your place to think and that's your personal space, that's fine. Here's another example. I'll make dinner. She's like, oh, I'm starving. And I've made something hot. It's a piece of ice when she comes out because she's been in there for so long. And then she's like, why is the food cold? And then I proceed to just, calm down in some way.
He got me beat there.
I mean, you don't have to change. I think the moral of the story is we learn to just work with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna stop you from doing that. I'll just wait to cook. My solution is I'll just wait until I hear movement or there's some breathing happening. Then if it gets to a point where I'll just FaceTime her and be like, can you just get the fuck out of there, please?
You literally FaceTime.
I'm out here like starving.
Yeah,
Can you just...
Actually, every time I go to the bathroom, he FaceTimes me.
And then she won't answer. I've learned to it's her space, so I'll just see her when she gets out. Hopefully she gets out alive.
The last time I saw something like you, I flushed it.
This is a juicy question. What are things that you've seen from your parents' marriages that you take inspo from and you don't? Love you guys, literal mother and father. Illy too, whoever said that. What's interesting is actually my parents are divorced, which I know is pretty uncommon in a South Asian Desi family. They got divorced when I was 18 years old. So I feel like their marriage kind of taught me what not to do. They were pretty incompatible and they had a 10-year age difference and were in just very different mentalities of life. My biological parents' marriage taught me that you really need to find someone who's really compatible. It doesn't matter how much you love that person. It doesn't matter how physically attracted you are to that person. The only thing that matters is how compatible are you? And do you guys have the same value system? Because my mom and my dad do not have the same value system at all. Not even one bit. And now that they've remarried other people, I can confidently say they now have developed their own value systems with their own significant others. And they're both in much happier and much healthier places. Even though the divorce was really difficult, me and my sister struggled. And I think we still kind of struggle in some way, shape, or form. Because you kind of never really recover from that in some ways, but it needed to happen because I don't think anyone was positively affected by the way they were acting towards each other. And if anything, we had to work through our own battles based off of the hurt and the trauma that they both caused each other and our family. But that being said, I feel the one thing I did take away from both of them is being really disciplined and being really, really hardworking. I will say that I'm a very hardworking person. I'm extremely disciplined, and when I say I want to do something or will do something, I will do it. I worked a corporate tech job for 3 years while filming content every single day, posting every single day. I didn't sleep for years essentially.
You're getting sick
and that's
all the
why
time.
I'm here. That's literally how I got here. You don't become successful overnight. You become successful with blood, sweat, and tears. The number of crash outs and breakdowns that I had to get here was insane. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Would I do it again? No. But it needed to happen. I feel those are things that I learned from my parents. That made me thirsty, but I don't know, why did you assemble this like as if these brands are sponsoring
We're
this video?
unofficially sponsored.
Oh my, no. For my roaster toast, I always drink Poppy or Recess, so.
Okay, so negative I would say, and they kind of are tied to each other I'd say, but my parents are still together. Haven't talked too much about them on this sort of platform, but they have been together for I think 35 years now, so a long time. I have an older sister and then obviously. But when it comes to kind of just from seeing more examples of different families, even seeing Monica's family, I would say that I think one of their flaws is that they sometimes defer too much. That's just my personal opinion. I think it's important to prioritize yourself. I don't think they always prioritize themselves. I don't know if this is from background. I don't know if this is from religion based. I don't know if this is from just attitude, but I think they don't always put themselves first in situations. But I think what I've learned is that sometimes you have to prioritize yourself. And if that means you say no to somebody, or if that means that, for example, for that night or for that week, you have to push things out, then okay. Now that doesn't mean they didn't prioritize our family, but I think when it comes to more career and different things like that, it was, I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. But when it comes to kind of the positive side, I think they are always there for my sister and I. Like I never have felt that they're not there. They came to every single sports event. I know that was something that you had to deal with.
Yeah, my parents worked a lot, so no one really came to any of my sporting events. I mean, in high school, for the most part, I was taken by friends to different water polo tournaments and stuff because they couldn't be around. So hearing that his parents were around was honestly really special. Like they were really there.
Well, they indexed not really on career, but more on kind of nurturing us, which is great to see, but
there's a
you
balance.
pay for that later.
We are both better and stronger people because of our past.
The lessons also, we're going to try to balance the two.
Yeah.
Question number 6. How did you guys agree on how to raise your future kids due to your different religions? Okay, that's a two-parter.
Yeah. So
First of all,
you gotta give people context. I was raised Hindu. I'm Indian. My parents are from South India. Chris's dad is English, Irish, and an immigrant from England.
Catholic.
And Catholic. And his mom is Catholic from Wisconsin, but they're both pretty religious. And my mom's side of the family is pretty religious. My dad's side of the family, though, is not. They're more spiritual. I honestly feel like Chris nor I are the most religious people. I think we both do believe in some sort of higher power, and I do practice aspects of Hinduism, and I do believe in it. But that being said, I want to give our kids the right to choose if they want to practice either religion. Like
our job's to like expose and educate.
Yeah, and educate. I feel like that's pretty common now, especially like with interracial couples, where I'm going to teach them as much as I can about Hinduism, and we'll go to the temple. I will obviously like have my mom around and my Pati around to help with that, and Chris's will do the same, but it's really, I want it to be up to them to make the decision on whether they want to practice either religion or no religion, because I feel like that's the kind of the issue with religion too. It's like you're forced to do something that you also don't believe in or don't want to believe in, then I feel like that creates friction and resistance there.
I mean, it's hard to know what you want to do, but someone can't, just because you don't like it, you have to give it a chance. So you can't have some 5-year-old running around, I don't want to do this. It's like, I don't care. You can go and be exposed because that's what we're choosing to do. You can make a decision later once you're grown. And it's the same thing with language. Like it's kind of hand in hand. We want to try to also expose to like your culture's language.
I can only understand Tamil, but I can't speak it. That to me is a problem, because when we have kids one day, like they will literally only know English.
Yeah,
that's not bad. Knowing your different languages like expands your vocabulary. How much was the wedding? It was enough to pay our kids' college tuition at a private school, and we'll sort of leave it at that.
Yeah. The reason why I think it got to that price was A, location, private venue, like really niche asks. We were not just generic like questions, and then we had to build a set basically. So
we got married in San Luis Obispo, which is in California, which is between Los Angeles and San Francisco. And that's also where I went to college. I went to Cal Poly SLO. So I actually know the area pretty well, and that's why we chose it. SLO is a really beautiful area, but the issue with that, it is kind of also in the middle of fucking nowhere. It was kind of hard to source Indian vendors in the middle of fucking nowhere in an area that's predominantly like white. So we found it really easy to find vendors for the American ceremony, but was really struggling to find vendors for the Indian ceremony. Like we're going back to the Indian food caterer. We overpaid like crazy for the Indian food caterer for what we ended up getting. It was good, but it wasn't amazing. I didn't think the food was like the best Indian food I've ever had in my life.
Also,
for what we paid for.
I think what people also do is they upcharge. I mean, they just upcharge because they know, A, you want the best, whatever. B, whenever you attach emotion to something, people kind of lose. So we could have been hard asses about it. And we were on some things. I mean, we negotiated a bunch of things. But they know it's like, oh, it's a once in a lifetime. They pull all these emotional stops out, which is tough.
Yeah.
And I just don't like that. By the way, you're trying to play emotional games with this person. I mean, it doesn't really work.
I'm a master emotional manipulator.
No. I don't mean it that way.
No, I know. I just
This industry, for example, is a lot of, so it's
I'm actually
you see through the sales pitches. Actually, that kind of adds back to the regrets, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't regret anything, but I will just say, like, weddings are just extremely
Nowadays,
overpriced.
they've just become...
I even think, too, like, the amount we paid for flowers is definitely not what I wanted to receive. I wanted a lot more florals. I love flowers, and what we paid for flowers... Yeah.
I think the main focal points were covered. You were just thinking more of a whimsical kind of... There was literally fires there a few days ago in that area, so it's like, you're in the middle of whatever. But anyway, question 8, what is something y'all... First of all, what is something you both are intentional about in your relationship that helps keep it healthy? Great question. We both work, obviously. Monica has to work more because her job's daily. So it's not Monday through Friday, and it's also not 9 to 5. It's 24/7 and every day. Holidays, you don't get off. Like, if anything, that's where you have to go harder because everyone's more on their phones during the holidays, relaxing. And that's fine. I mean, whatever. But I think we try to still spend time with each other because we know if we allow ourselves to kind of just work and that's it, then we're not going to kind of keep building our relationship. I mean, even the wedding, we've not done much as we normally do. And I would say something that we're going to get back to it once we settle with the house and everything. But like, we want to do date night once a week. We want to start doing other activities. Like, we obviously have a gym now. We work out together in the morning now. We eat dinner together. We cook basically every day. So just doing more activities, small things together.
Yeah, and I would say both of our like love languages are quality time. I would say my also love language is acts of service too. And I feel like the most intentional thing that we do is that like we really try to show up for each other. And I feel like more than that, like Chris really shows up for me.
Monica's my trash mommy now, I guess we can say.
I hate you. But it's like when we're both swamped, we both will automatically like try to help the other person. Me with the trash. To me, that's kind of small. But with Chris in particular, like he will accompany me on a lot of my brand trips.
Even though they're in different fucking countries, and he still works his corporate job. He doesn't take PTO.
Even though he should, and he can. What do you have, like 200 hours of PTO available? He just works all night, and then he comes with me, which is insane. I don't recommend that.
It's not like you're just going to like Arizona. You're going to some crazy things.
If I could sum it up, I think we both agree on is that we both show up for each other. And to me, that's really important because I feel like my childhood wounds growing up were like my parents were not around as much or there for my sister and I when we could have used some more help. And I think it's really healing for me to finally be able to be with someone who really shows up for everything and anything with their best attitude and puts a lot of effort in to make sure that both of us are like feeling okay and doing well. So I appreciate that.
She loves me. But she doesn't love me enough to wear her ring.
I wear my ring. I was doing my makeup today,
and
I have a sensory issue.
When that ring's gone, you should feel like I'm lost. This is the equivalent. For example, if my ring's off, I'm like, oh, Monica's in the bathroom. She's so far away. So I was like, once you're back, oh, the ring's back. I feel good.
Usually I wear my Sali or Mangalsutra, but today I wore...
She's got 2 options.
Usually I do. Y'all know I be wearing it in my video. We're already on number 9. We're whizzing through that. What's one thing that you two have learned about the other person during wedding planning or during events themselves? I like this question.
This is such a corporate question.
I know. I feel like I'm an interview for a corporate job. I feel like something that I learned about Chris is that I knew he would be involved, but he honestly took charge of most of the wedding planning. He's also really, really organized with payments and like coordinating everyone. Like we had a lot of vendors like staying at hotels. 30. And he managed all of that, which I thought was kind of insane. I think it would have driven me nuts. He's also really patient. So I wouldn't say like these are things I learned about him during the wedding planning process. These are things that I think solidified in my brain as to who he is as a human being. That's why I say he's a Virgo. Okay. Because it's giving Virgo energy.
I thought you were gonna say this is too much on my plate energy. I would say the woman knows what she wants. So that process was getting to the vision. I think you always had the vision. You didn't know all of it in the beginning, but but as one domino would fall, you would get the rest. And I think you do the same thing with like your job and also life, for example. Like, it got to a point where we were like, we need to move to LA, basically. So that just became the North Star. And luckily, I work for a company where they have multiple offices. So that was kind of a domino. And then we just figured everything else out. We didn't worry about the small details. Same thing with like building this room, for example. You're like, I'm going to do long from YouTube. I need to upgrade my room. And we were just like, okay, let's
You start one at a time.
let's invest in this house and then we'll just figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, what I think is a very positive energy, especially as like a CEO of your own business. You need to always keep moving. That energy is important because without energy, you don't have iteration and progress. When it came to the wedding, you knew your vision. Once we locked on 3 days, well, 2 days, we just went full steam.
Yeah. Piggybacking off that, since the corporate question, I feel like something that a lot of people can learn from that is people get really overwhelmed when you look at the bigger picture. It's like, damn, we have to plan a 3-day wedding with 5 outfits and we have to get all these vendors. And don't get me wrong, it was a little overwhelming at first. But once you sort of like break it up, like, okay, this first thing needs to happen, then this next thing needs to happen, then this next thing needs to happen, and you do it like successively, like then you untangle yourself because it's like you kind of like, all right, I will worry about the next step once this one is finished. You know, and I think that's how I've approached life, because as someone with anxiety, that you're always struggling with like, okay, what's out of my control? That's like what you're always anxious about, right? I'm only gonna focus on being anxious about what I can control, of course, because that's in my control, and B, taking it one at a time, because if you hone in on the bigger picture too quickly, like I feel like you just get stuck there. So
I think we also
that's my tip for anyone getting married. Start one and then everything else will follow.
No, I think it is, don't psych yourself out of it. It's like, let's just go all out. And we were both pushing in that same direction if it made sense. People should be pushing the same direction and not just showing up to their wedding. I'm adding a part B to this question. Who was the groomzilla, bridezilla situation? When it comes to the prep, I was the groomzilla 100%. We spent too much time and we were really excited about it, but how I thought about it is, okay, we're a year out. We have 365 days to plan, but we only have 3 days to enjoy it, or 2 days to enjoy it. You can't plan the day of. So let's knock it all out, go to the nth degree, check every single detail. And I think 2 weeks prior, we were relaxed. Everyone was like, how are you able to do your makeup? It's like, because everything's here. I've packed my bag. My teams already know what our plan is.
There's a lot of prep.
We prepped for a long time. So the actual part was enjoyable, because that's what anything should be if it's done properly.
Yeah, I mean, I hear a lot of brides don't enjoy their wedding, and I'm like, why are you having a wedding?
Exactly.
It makes no sense. And the final question, so keeping it light and lighthearted. What was your favorite food and drink from the wedding? Quite a few people asked this. I would say my favorite food from the wedding was definitely either the dosa or, honestly, I like the Irish American food a lot. We had like salmon.
I liked
it with
Sunday.
polenta. It was really good.
And the desserts,
And the
all the
desserts,
dessert
yeah,
options were really nice. What about the drinks, our custom drinks that we did?
Oh, I named one. It was really good. It was like a tamarind passion fruit mojito. A lot of people liked it.
No offense, this tastes like shit. Whatever you...
What
was it?
The strawberry martini.
Yeah, it was a strawberry shahi teeny is what we named it. It tasted like straight vodka.
Yep. That's okay though. The mojito was a hit for both days because we did blueberry the next day.
I love mojitos.
It was such an easy drink.
I barely drink, but if I go out to drink, it's usually mojito.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think Sunday. I liked Sunday. I also liked actually our rehersal dinner stuff.
Yeah, the
because it was
rehearsal
kind of
dinner
more
was
like
more like
charcuterie
casual,
vibe, hand bites, cheeses.
The Indian food was good too, but actually when we did the tasting for the Indian food, it was better.
It was a little bit better, yeah.
Than the actual catered Indian food. But then again, we had it served buffet style, which is different than when you get it served like hot from like the stove.
But I think people in general still liked it. We also have had more, I would say, Indian food, so we just had more of a palate kind of reference. But no one was complaining about anything, and no one got sick or anything like that, so we didn't really have.
Yeah, and I have a really soft stomach when it comes to Indian food, because growing up, my parents made really healthy Indian food. So when I go to Indian food restaurants, sometimes I get IBS. Like I do have like some amount of IBS as well. My intestines are pretty sensitive. Thanks to my dad, okay? That's why I'm on the toilet.
It's your safe space. It's just her safe space. Do you know what I need to put in there? I need to get like her a foot massage thing. We got to get some music, some like diffuser.
Chris asks a question.
What do we think everything's gonna look like in 10 years?
Like with our relationship or where we want to be?
When we took our vows, we had the traditional vows, and then we also wrote our own. And one of the stories that we were both telling that kind of came across is that we were lucky to meet, but we weren't lucky to be where we're at now. So I think we put a lot of time and effort into progressing and obviously solidifying our relationship. So with the foundation laid, now it's day 60 of being married at this point. What do we think we're gonna be at in 10 years?
I would say in 10 years, I see us both having like 2 kids. I don't know if we'll be in LA because I'm not in love with LA, but I do love this house that we purchased. I also would say that I do think that we both might be working together in 10 years, on a business venture together. Maybe we would have also traveled a lot more together, seen a lot more countries, maybe done a few half marathons, and maybe started finally taking the Tamil classes that we mentioned and learning another language and getting a second baby.
She's getting too confident. She needs another dog needs to come beat her or something. She's a pumpkin. I would say my answer is a little less literal and more kind of bigger picture. I would say we're just gonna keep improving.
That's it.
Maybe people mean it literally and also kind of just messing around, but people always say they peaked in like their 20s or like their wedding day. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Isn't that depressing?
Yeah.
You have so much life to live. We have more to look forward to. Like everything in our life is all ahead of us. So I'm all about tomorrow.
I think you choose when you peak.
You know what I'm gonna peak? My last breath. My graph is gonna just be like this. Up and to the right until my whiteness comes in, I get a little wrinkly, and then may it start teetering, and then it's...
All right, and those were, I guess, like the 10 or I guess 11 juicy questions that we kind of had for you guys. Hope you guys got to enjoy us a little bit more. And yeah, we're trying to figure out like what else you guys want to know from us, learn from us, that we could sort of do together since we've taken you guys on this amazing journey. And thank you for coming along with us. So yeah, if you have any ideas, drop them in the comments. But
we want to kind of do this more because I think we have the amazing background. Might as well use it. So
wow.
I'm serious.
But
you spent so much time. Why not?
Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.